Yes, I know I'm a little short. Hello. I just want to give people out there just a few tips on, because you're working with a lot more chemicals, if you want to call it chemicals. Bleach is a chemical. I have got an itch. My gloves are all clean and whatnot, so excuse me the way I am. I've got to stay like this because I do have a kind of a real chesty infection, kind of bit, just recovering from it actually. And thankfully, because I've used my PPE, Ben has not had it, and he has multiple. And when I'm saying multiple, I mean he's had multiple pneumonias, and he's also had, on top of pneumonia, at 13, he became a spinal injury at 9. So at 13, Mike Marsh, the team and PICU at Southampton, obviously with Prof Warner and everybody. I don't know, I'll go a bit more deep into this one day maybe, or maybe now. Maybe this is the right time to talk about it, because I've never really talked about it. Never told anybody really my story about Ben. Never told anybody that I want to claim against the NHS, although they took the money back. Nice one. I'm coming back at you one day. Anyway, let's get on with it, because I'd rather carry on with little tips for now. Or should I? I really don't know. I think I need to think about Mike Marsh and the team resuscitated Ben in ways that I could not comprehend, okay, at 13. And Ben had this disease on top of pneumonia of his lungs. And anyway, Prof Warner, Mr Malone, the Metrophanoff man, banging guy, hello. And everybody in the units around the country, hello. And you know Ben, and you know me, and thank you. But I just want to give out tips for people, to be fair, because if you do the right things now, and I've gone back in my paperwork and I've been doing this now for like ordering equipment, getting it ready, but as soon as China, blah, 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 blah. So if you order your equipment now, anyway, I'm talking about a multitude of things, because I've got that much on my mind, because I'm so, like, frustrated, because they're saying they're getting this equipment, and I'm, you know, the intensive care wards can't get all the equipment. The hospitals, some of them haven't got right masks. Some staff, you know, are suffering out there. And it's just not fair. I know somebody very dear to my heart at this moment in time in the NHS, quite a few people, but, you know, the masks, she can't wear the mask, she can't wear them. So there's no masks for her. She's got kind of claustrophobic, all that. So there's nothing out there for people. So if anyone could invent that, that would be really, really good right now, because I can't keep inventing things for you. Anyway, this is a little eye drop, a bit of saline. I'll give you this little tip as well before I forget, because I've got to go back to bed in a sec. And all you do is you drop it into your eyes. Keep your eyes nice and moist, but keep your glasses on, goggles, because don't make the mistakes I've made. And all you'll do is tip it up, a couple of drops in each eye. I won't show you, because I don't think you'll like to see that. And I keep it here on the side, and I'll do it a few times a day. I'll show all sorts, and I'll try and talk a bit more about this video in a minute, because it's kind of heart-rending, because I just don't get it. I don't get this country. Try and go back to some of your old ways. The NHS needs to do that too. And the government needs to realise that they need to pay staff a whole lot more money. They need to give each unit's different, you know, the bigger budgets that they need. Everyone needs, not just people on ventilators, by the way. But it's on about ventilators now because we ain't got enough of them. We all know that. I even tried to find my old one out for somebody to be fair, just in case. But I can't find it. I'm sure it'll jog my mind eventually, and if I find it, I'll put it out there that I do have a vent then, and I'll just decontaminate it here for you and give it out if I can find it. That's another story too. I have that many stories. I don't know whether to video them or not. I don't know how to put things across on this kind of thing, because it's kind of like real dear to my heart about the NHS. Because, you know, 31 years of it is a long time. I know quite a lot of people, and all these people, like I said, that saved Ben's life at 13. If they could save his life, and I had his funeral, this is what I'm trying to get at, I had his funeral arranged. And he knows that. I was having this Kenny coffin made for him because he was into South Park. Very naughty things we got up to in Southampton, we did, didn't we, Michael? And Carol and everyone else up there. But, you know, it was kind of like all them people, right, that saving lives right now, including all of you guys in Southampton. And what you did for Ben. You know, that drug, unlicensed drug. Yeah. You're listening to me, everyone. He has an unlicensed drug because he was dead on an oscillator, ventilated. He was dead on the bed, okay? Dead, literally dead. So me and my family made the decision, obviously, to switch the machines off at 12 o'clock on a Saturday it was going to be. And I had all my close friends and family. Thank you, Swindon. You kept us going, not the NHS. They did in the end. They learnt from Ben. What I'm saying out there now, because they learnt from Ben and mistakes, hence I sued. And that took 13 years of our lives, you know, that was terrible. Hence, I'm talking about intensive care still, because there's not going to be enough beds, as we all know. There's not going to be enough staff, especially if they're going to go off sick, especially if you, Boris, are still not getting your backside out there to get these tests, if there is tests. And the kits and filters, like I said, I'm going to keep banging on about that, because go and look at the real professionals that really, really do these jobs, Boris. And they're probably going to come out and say to you, look, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Why don't you try this? Like they did the trial and error on my son, on his diseased lungs, really, really diseased, oscillated, dead, right? Try looking back at the BBC in Southampton with my son, who was called at the time, because he changed his name when he was 16, so you need to look him up if you want to. His name was Mr. Benjamin Whitehorn, and I'm not afraid to say his old name, because that was his old name. It was his choice. It was my choice to change mine, but it was his choice to change his at 16, so hence he did. But look at Benjamin Whitehorn, Mr. Benjamin Whitehorn, Charles Whitehorn, and he's given me permission. He's in the background, you probably hear him swearing. And honestly, if you look at the disease he had back in 2001, I think. Yeah, roughly then. And the diseases that was in his lungs, and that oscillator wasn't working. You know, and we were turning off that machine. So yeah, it's emotional for me to say. I don't know where to look. I hate cameras. Don't like things like this. And yeah, I'm itching my nose. I've got a cold, chest infection. Maybe you should test me. You know, I could be positive. How does the government not know that I'm not positive? I'm his full-time carer, who has got disabilities herself. So you need to deal with that too. Because, do you know what? I'm rolling around in a flipping wheelchair, doing his exercises and all the rest. We're two wheelchair users sometimes, which is quite sad. We're still struggling. I'm struggling really like everyone else. We're all frustrated. But I'm trying to get back to, look back at some of your old ways. Go back to some of the old ways. Have a look at these diseases. Have a look what's out there a little bit more about this new one that's here now. And surely, if you can look at Ben Whitehorn's records, medical records, I give you permission, just do it. Whatever disease he had at the time, would that kind of not try and work for this now? I don't know whether they made it a licensed drug after it was because it was unlicensed and it worked for Ben. I'm not sure, but I want to put this out here. It's hard for me to actually talk about this because I've never given a real story about Ben. I've never given newspapers. I've not given it to when I won his claim. I've not done absolutely anything, you know, to put myself there with Ben in the public to say, oh, we got this now. Oh, we got that now. Oh, but you took it back. Oh, but this, oh, but that. You know, it's all about the money. Money just helps people. And that's what we're trying to do with our stock. And I do have overstock. You know, I probably can do a good few families, but, you know, I just want to put it out there. Please, 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 someone, Boris, anyone, listen. Go back to Ben's story. Have a look. Just look. He had real bad lung disease, and I feel really bad at saying things like this on this camera thing. But please listen, learn. It's a university hospital for one. Go back to them. Go back to Professor Warner, Mike Marsh, Mr. Malone, and all the other people that saved his life. Go to them. They're kind of experts, as well as all the other universities. But, you know, all work together. Join. This is time now for everybody to come together and reunite. And if we can't give things away to people in need right now, like a lot of other people should, or if they can. I look like a loon, and I feel like a loon doing this, but you know, please help people now before it's too late. Because I will be honest with you, it's when it hit China, I bought kits, equipment, medical, blah blah blah, to keep them alive. But I also purchased a bit more because I don't know what told me to do it, but something told us to do it, and because of China, I think, and obviously because of the lungs, and I was watching it really mental on telly, and I haven't watched telly since because I don't want to watch telly, and I don't want to know every day apart from Boris online, YouTube. I'm looking on there. Don't worry about that one. But you know, we don't watch too much telly about it because it puts it here in the mind. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because I've rabbled on about this story for far too long. I just want to put it out there to try and save people's lives. And if we can help by, you know, any way, me, Ben, my family, you know, support all our team. And he's saying, oh my God, shut up. But it's not me. It's the game. But I am going to shut up. That was hard, all right? So it's hard to put this out there, but I need to put it out. And I think it needs to be put out there before it's too late. Keep positive. Keep recharged. Bless you all. Love you.